up, people? It's your boy, the Kryptonian Saiyan, bringing you a review for One Piece Chapter 305. This was a nice way to end the volume. So, Usopp, I'm guessing this is because his father was a pirate. So, Yasa, Usopp understands what the leader of the, I believe it was Silver Fox, of the Foxy Pirates, challenges Luffy to this game, right? And he is goading Luffy on, and Luffy's just like, I'm gonna kick your ass, and Usopp's like, no, if you go along with this game, we're gonna lose our pirates. And Usopp, I love the fact that he is remembering back with that ship and it's going, there was no navigator, there was no shooter, there was no captain, and that's exactly how they're broken up. The shooter, Usopp, is with Luffy. I mean, just little small stuff, man. Whereas the navigator is with, obviously with Zoro. So I mean, really cool, really cool. Just the parallels that go on with this, but also you look at how Oda set this up. Once again, Usopp is being put in a position where he is trying to tell the truth, trying to warn, and it looks like he's being brushed aside. And it's very interesting that this is going on when we get introduced to an unreliable narrator in Tonjit. And if you guys don't know what an unreliable narrator is, I'm going to explain it. This is more of a craft type thing, but I like the parallels that we see with Usopp and the fact that Usopp tells all these tall tales, and yet they're questioning Tonjit with just the different things he's saying because they sound so outlandish. The fact that he's saying that the bamboo actually kept growing that he used for stilts. I mean, just little small things. It's up there for 10 years. Very possible, he survived eating the fruit, but it's just so outlandish. And so what an unreliable narrator is it's just like it sounds. You introduce a character who goes against the conventional wisdom of the world that you're in. And the best way to put it is, imagine Alice in Wonderland being told from the perspective of the Mad Hatter. You automatically question everything that's being told. Or if you guys have seen Batman The Dark Knight Returns, right? And he's not The Dark Knight Returns, Batman The Dark Knight, okay? Imagine that story being told from the Joker's perspective. You would automatically question everything that's being said. So it's the same thing. While Tonjit is not the main character, he handles the bulk of the narration for this chapter, and so you question a lot of what he's saying, and yet you kind of have to take it at face value because there is some truth mixed in. I like how we found out more about this island, about how the fact that it moves in a circular fashion, and every 10 years, like, the island kind of changes around. And because he's been gone for so long, it'll be 30 years before he even catches up with the rest of his nomad tribe. And we get this cool shot where, he's like, yeah, if I just had my horse. And then, holy shit, the horse Sherry that Chopper was talking to had, sat there and waited for him, okay? And Oda foreshadowed it one chapter back when Chopper's just like, where's your master? And, Sherry doesn't really know how to answer. And so you see them kind of riding along, and it's one of those ones where I was just like, okay, this is slice of life, and this isn't Oda's normal thing. He kind of kept waiting for a punch to come. You didn't know what was going to happen, but you knew a punch was coming because you got Tonjit. He's offering rotted cheese for 10 years that Oda almost has Luffy eat, and then Usopp smacks his hand, says, don't you dare. And Tonjit's like, oh, it's okay. Then he gets fucking food poison. That's what I mean, unreliable narrator. He does a lot of stuff that makes you question his reliability as a character. And so to see that, to see all that taking place, and then to turn around and have it where you see Tonjit's horse Sherry just having all of these memories of waiting through the different seasons and refusing to go with the other nomads, but waiting for her master to return. Very beautiful. And if you guys don't remember, back during the Buggy the Clown arc, I'll link the video down in the description below, but you had the dog down there who was the dog holding down the fort for the shopkeeper. And that's when Buggy's pirates were, attacking Zoro and Luffy, and that dog was just holding everything down because that was his master's place. And that one right there, I made that video when I was down in Dallas a couple of years ago, and It was a couple years ago. It was 2004. No, it's 2015. And I thought that was pretty damn, heartwarming because I was away from my dog and I'm a big animal lover. And, just to see that and to see the loyalty of an animal, oh, that's one of the things, like romance and animals and really just world building. Those type of things are always going to get me. They're definitely gonna get me anytime I read anything like that. I just might have to hand in my man card a little bit. I did say romance, so I mean, fuck it. That's one of the things I do right, so it is something that I'm gonna appreciate. So to see that and to see how as he's riding, the horse gets shot. And right away I went, no! I can't believe it. He shot the horse. What the fuck is Oda doing? Fuck you, Oda. That's exactly what I was thinking. Then I said, wait a second. Oda doesn't kill shit. Oda don't kill shit. So I was just like, it's all good, man. It's just like how Ace was stepping out in the cover page and Ace was cracking the knuckles because it looks like he's going somewhere with it. And I like how this whole chapter does kind of fit in because Mocha's family, the milk farm, and then the coffee tasted bad with the Marines because they didn't have milk in it and everyone thought it tasted better. And then this guy had 10-year-old milk in this chapter. I like how Oda just kind of weaves stuff in a little bit, but that's when the Foxy pirates show up and Silver challenges Luffy. And I can't wait for this because this is what I'm thinking is going to happen, okay? I feel like this is one of those little in-between arcs that kind of connects us. And like I told you guys before, I felt like Oda was setting up something big, but he was doing misdirection. I'm not talking about what I said when they first got to the prairie and everything, when they first got to the island. I'm talking about with the Gold Roger revelation. I felt like Oda was going to misdirect us for a while at the same time setting up for something bigger. And I feel like this is going to be something short, to the point. It's going to connect us. It's going to be one of those connecting bridges. And because of Oda's writing style, it might be another 100, 150 chapters before we get to that big overarching threat. But I definitely feel like he set something up back with the Shandorians with their Poneglyph. So I feel like this is going to connect it. But what I think is going to happen is Luffy's going to agree to fight. Okay? And then as they start going through with the game, because these dudes are snipers, I feel like Usopp is going to be doing something because he does have the dial, so we know he's been working on that. Usopp does have skills as a shooter, and we haven't really seen those in a while. And I feel like that is something that's going to kind of play into, come into play right here. At least I hope so. That's something that I would do if I had an opportunity to write this. I would write it this way. And that's exactly going to be how my question is for you guys, because I could see how these last couple chapters might be chapters that some of you all kind of skipped over, especially coming off of something as epic as Skypiea, okay? Particularly with Luffy and just the emotions that came after Luffy defeated Enel. So my question to you guys is going to be, in these last two chapters, if you could change 3 things, what 3 things would you change? Let me know what you would change and why. But as always, guys, if you like anything I had to say, hit that like button as it really helps out the channel. Make sure you comment and subscribe and share. I will greatly appreciate it. Thank you for watching, guys.